Hello agents and welcome to another daily episode of Targeted Loot Today, your daily farming guide for Wednesday, January 20th. In this series we cover a lot. We got the Targeted Loot map, Dark Zone exclusives, highlights for the weekly vendors, and build and farming suggestions as well. This is Shadow Gaming, and if you're new to the channel and enjoy this video, consider pressing the thumbs up and subscribe buttons below, and if you didn't, a thumbs down. Always remember to hit those bell notifications to all so you never miss a daily video, and remember to comment below if you have any questions or feedback whatsoever. Otherwise, let's get this video started. Alright agents, so starting off with the Dark Zones and of course vendor reset highlights, which will always be in that big bottom left overlay that pops up right now. What I highly recommend this week is the Rock and Roll Shotgun with Perfectly Extra in DZ West. And that's going to be 152 DZ resources. And then over here at the White House, like I showed you guys yesterday, we got the Force Multiplier backpack. And that comes with Perfect Combined Arms, so that's 30% extra skill damage every 3 seconds you land a shot. And it's perfectly rolled with skill haste and skill damage. It's just, you know, like about 70%. So if you want to farm Hana U today, you can. I believe it's in New York City. Now back to normal targeted loot, we got Douglas and Harding at DZ West today. Now of course you could farm the Punch Drunk Mask with 20% headshot damage baked into it. Now that's great for an all high-end headshot damage build, but of course it's not a Dark Zone exclusive, so you can wait until another day, you know, when it's outside of, you know, or you could farm mass targeted loot. Now over in DZ South, same thing basically, but Rigor is a very good gear set and it comes with a skill tier. So you can actually farm this in the Dark Zone. You're looking for, you know, skill damage, skill haste, or status effects, whatever you're building it for. It's great, you know, it gives you instant cooldowns. It basically made hardwired purposeless, like, so you could definitely farm this in DZ South today. Now over here in DZ East today, we do have a Dark Zone exclusive and light machine guns targeted loot. That would be the Black Friday with Perfectly Unhinged, which is actually a really great LMG, and I could show it to you guys. So here's the Black Friday right here. It's got Perfectly Unhinged, grants 22% weapon damage at the cost of negative 25% stability and accuracy. Otherwise, you can farm for the two exotics, the Bullet King and the Pestilence. You know, the Bullet King you never have to reload, and the Pestilence you can get that damage tick to over 1,000,000 per tick. But always remember that that damage tick is based off weapon damage, not status effects. That damage tick from the Pestilence is not technically a status effect. Alright agents, now let's go check out what we got on the north side and invaded missions. Alright agents, north side targeted loot highlights. Starting off with the invaded missions this week, we got Jefferson Plaza, then of course Space Administration HQ, and then we got Lincoln Memorial, Tidal Basin, and then Capitol Building Stronghold. Over here at Camp White Oak today, we got Hunter's Fury, probably my favorite gear set in this game because it runs SMGs and shotguns, and I'll put my favorite Hunter's Fury build in the top title card right now. And that of course is 4 pieces of Hunter's Fury, the Death Grip gloves, and then of course the Memento backpack. I always run that with the Dark Winter and the Scorpio exotic shotgun, and always run 3 armor cores, 4 weapon cores, and the skill tier you get from the Memento backpack. The alternative would be to just put on a Sokolov chest piece with Intimidate, or my favorite, which is Obliterate, if you don't have those Dark Zone exclusive Death Grip gloves for that extra 10% armor on kill. And then of course 511 Tactical I never use. Hardwire I believe is just something that is useless now. And then Golan Gear at Manny National Zoo you can farm for something really good today. And that of course is the Anarchist Cookbook with Perfect Wicket. It goes great on that 4-piece Ongoing Directive and Ridgeway's Pride build. So definitely farm for it today if you need it. Otherwise, Kinley College is open for another 5 days and 12 hours as of this recording, and then of course the summit you pick your own targeted loot. So let's now check out what we got on the west and east sides of Washington DC. Alright agents, west side targeted loot highlights. Starting off with the gear sets, we got Aces and Eights, the Tidal Basin Stronghold. Now I always recommend 3 pieces of Aces and Eights and 2 pieces of Araldo Holding. One of those is going to be a backpack. And I always put Vigilance on it, but you can run Composure as well. And then you want the Chain Killer chest piece with Perfect Headhunter. I always run that with the Mantis as my primary, and Ekim's Longstick with Perfect Ranger as my secondary, or the White Death. Next up, we got Foundry Bulwark at Foggy Bottom. Now remember, this is a Iron Horse raid exclusive for the chest and backpack, so keep that in mind when you're farming for it. And what I like to do is mix it with the Emperor's Guard knee pads with that 1% armor regen. and then Bellstone Armory as well. I throw Armor Regen all over this build as a tank set because that's what it's for. And then we got a close protocol at Federal Emergency Bunker. So I'll put my favorite fire damage build in the top title card now. So that's going to be 4 pieces of a close protocol, the Imperial Dynasty holster, and then 1 piece of Golan gear for that added, extra 10% status effects. And I believe if you run it with Technician, you could just, roll armor or weapon damage core on that Golan gear piece. Or what I like to do is run it with Firewall with the Stinger Hive and Chem Launcher. And that seems to be it for gear sets. Moving on to normal targeted loot, we got Walker Harrison Co. over here at the White House area. So you can farm for that Chain Killer chest piece with Perfect Headhunter if you want to, get together that headshot damage build. And then perfectly right next to it is Aralda Holdings, a DCD. I always pick weapon damage, weapon handling, and headshot damage on any headshot damage build I put together. And you always want Aralda Holdings as well. Crit hit chance and crit hit damage don't really matter. You just want your headshot damage above 200%. And then next up, we got Providence Defense at Bank HQ. You can farm this for the Sacrifice of Perfect Glass Cannon. Now that's going to amplify all damage you deal by 30%. But it also amplifies all damage that you get by 60%. So it makes you like extremely squishy, but it also gives you the most damage in the game. And that's all damage, not just weapons, every piece of damage you deal. Next up, we got MMRs at West End. So you got 2 exotic MMRs in this game, the Mantis and the Nemesis. The Mantis you could just straight up farm for. And the Nemesis you need to have at least got the blueprint, like Puck's blueprint from Grand Washington Hotel, and crafted it over here at the White House first before it joins the general targeted loot pool of MMRs. Otherwise, just like any other exotic like Ridgeway's Pride or any other exotic, even the quest ones, you can ask your teammates to share it with you and then you'll have it forever after that. Next up, we got Empress at Potomac Event Center. Now, I'll put my favorite turret and drone build in the top title card right now. That's 3 pieces of Empress, 2 pieces of Hana Yu, and the Waveform holster. And then, of course, I run Kinetic Momentum on the chest piece and the Force Multiplier backpack. And I always run Capacitor and Harmony as backup weapon. And then next up, we got holsters at Lincoln Memorial. So anyone who's looking for holsters today is in luck, because Lincoln Memorial is a very fast mission that you could blaze through. And I believe it has a total of 4 bosses in it. And you could beat it in like 8-9 minutes. So what I recommend is the 3 exotics, the Waveform holster, the Imperial Dynasty holster, and the Dodge City holster. The Waveform you unlock at level 90 from the Season 4 rewards, otherwise it's in the holster targeted loot pool. You can also farm for the Forge, which is 50% shield health on it, so that's a whole extra skill tier worth of shield health. And you could run that, of course, if you're not running the Claws Out, because that one is a Dark Zone exclusive. And then the last 2 we got is gloves over here at DARPA Research Labs. You could farm the BTSU data gloves, and since this is a Black Tusk mission, this actually gives you an additional 3% drop rate chance because, that's what happens with factions and exotics. It's the same with Chameleon. If ARs are at a Black Tusk mission, it'll give you an additional 3% drop rate chance. And the BTSU data gloves grant overcharge, to you or any ally at skill tier 6 if you cancel or destroy your hive. And really, that's all I'm going to recommend. I guess I'll mention Bellstone. You can get the Everyday Carrier Perfectly Efficient, although I never use it, so I can't really recommend it. And I always let you guys know that the Liquid Engineer with Perfect Bloodsucker backpack is a Dark Zone exclusive. But of course, like a lot of those DZ exclusives, you can get them from named item caches and stuff like that, like some unreliable sources. Alright guys, now let's go check out what we got on the east side. Alright guys, east side target loot highlights. Starting off with gear sets, we got Strikers at Southwest. Like I always say, I recommend 3 pieces for, like a Merciless or LMG build. What I would do is mix 3 pieces just for that weapon handling and rate of fire, to calm down the Merciless, or you could use weapon handling or braced. Otherwise, I never recommend using 4 pieces of Striker. The damage is not worth it, and the accuracy is an average of like 70% or even below on PC, so I don't even know what it would be on console. So an all high-end damage build would be way better in terms of, sustained and burst DPS. Next up, we got True Patriot Viewpoint Museum. Now, True Patriot is probably my second favorite gear set in this game, and I'll have my favorite True Patriot SMG build in the top right card. That's 4 pieces of True Patriot, Sokolov chest with Intimidate, and the Memento backpack, and I always run that with the Lady Death now. And then the mop with the 10% armor on kill as a secondary. Next up, Negotiator's Dilemma at Federal Triangle. If I have enough cards, I'll put my double LMG build up there, but it's 4 pieces of Negotiator's Dilemma and the Coyote's Mask. And then I like to run either the Contractor's Gloves if I'm running a Pestilence or Bullet King, or you could run the Grupo Sombro Gloves if you want to run like the Eagle Bearer, like an Assault Rifle or an SMG. It's great for crowd control and DPS builds, so definitely check that one out. And then last, for gear sets, we got Future Initiative at District Union Arena. Just like Foundry Bulwark, that chest and backpack are Iron Horse raid exclusive. But no worries, I got you. So just what you need to do is get an Alp Summit chest piece and backpack, chest piece Empathetic Resolve, backpack Safeguard, and that's a non-raid exclusive healer build that is actually really good. And of course you could farm Alp Summit at Grand Washington Hotel today if you need the pieces for that, the chest and backpack that I mentioned. Next up in Judiciary Square, we got submachine guns. So you got 3 exotics, the Lady Death, the Chatterbox, and of course the Backfire exotic SMG. The Chatterbox is a quest only exotic, so you first have to unlock it first to, farm for it. So if you don't have that yet, I'd recommend watching my Chatterbox video. I'll put it in the top title card right now. It's really fast, like 5.5 minutes, and it's actually faster to farm Chatterbox just doing the quest over and over instead of farming SMGs. And always remember that the Dark Winter and the Apartment are Dark Zone exclusives. Otherwise you can get them from named item caches, but otherwise you gotta farm for them in the Dark Zone. And then of course the named SMGs I do recommend in the Light Zone is the Safety Distance with Perfect Outsider and the Grudge with Perfect Vindictive. Both of those are really good for their respective builds. And then of course rifles over here at American History Museum. You got 2 exotics, the Merciless and then of course the Diamondback. The Merciless, like I mentioned before, you need to run Braced on your chest piece or Weapon Handling on your gear or 3-Praise Striker. And it's still not too good. And then the Diamondback only has 5 rounds, but it hits pretty hard in PvE and PvP. Otherwise, I'd recommend the Surge with Perfect Spike and the Baker's Dozen with Perfect Lucky Shot. The Harmony with Perfect In-Sync does not drop outside of the Dark Zone unless it's like a named item cache. And then we got Overlord at Air and Space Museum. You can farm the Fox's pair of knee pads with 8% damage to targets out of cover. Now remember, that's multiplicative damage, the best type of damage in the game, so definitely always recommend at least having 1 pair of these. They go great on a rifle build or any build really, it doesn't matter that it's Overlord. That's how much damage to targets out of cover is worth. And then of course we got knee pads at Capitol Building Stronghold. You can farm the Fox's Prayer here too, but I always recommend the brand over the type. But the 2 exotics you could farm for knee pads would be Sawyer's and Ninja Bike, but they're both opposites. So the Ninja Bike is DPS, run and gun, for vaulting and cover to cover for instant reloads and bonus armor. And then the Sawyer's knee pads, you actually have to sit still to gain that 1% weapon damage every second you're sitting still, up to 30%. Next up, we got Mask over here at Space Administration HQ. 2 exotics, the Coyotes Mask and of course the Vile Mask. The Coyotes is great for DPS builds, especially if you run in teams, especially if you run in teams of 4 too. And you only need 1 person running these to get all that crit hit chance and crit hit damage bonuses, so definitely make sure only 1 person in your group is running that. Otherwise, the Vile Mask is great for skill damage and status effects, and I've never really ran it in group, I don't use it that often, but I do know that the Demolitionist spec does increase the damage debuff of the Vile Mask. And really, that's about it that I'll mention for the east side. You got Tardigrade and Ridgeway's Pride exotic chest pieces you can farm for at East Mall here today. But always remember that the Ridgeway's Pride, you have to complete the project first or get it shared by someone, and the Tardigrade you could just straight up farm for. Now let's go check out New York City. Alright agents, finally we're over here at New York City Targeted Loot highlights, starting off with Ongoing Directive at 2 bridges. I got 2 great bleed damage build for you guys. Now the first one, you're going to need Ridgeway's Pride, and then of course 4 pieces of Ongoing Directive, and then I use the Anarchist Cookbook with Perfect Wicked since the Eclipse Protocol backpack does not work alone anymore. And I always run both of these with the Carnage with Perfect Sadist and the Scorpio Exotic Shotgun with Septic Shock. And the second one is 4 pieces Ongoing Directive, a Badger Tough backpack with Creeping Death, and the Vile Mask. Tip of the Spear, I do not recommend ever. And then of course Gear System mods, Stranded Tanker, you can run that on Heroic if you're looking for God Rolled mods, like 6% crit hit chance, 12% crit hit damage, 13% protection from elites, like all that good stuff. And then we got Hana-Yu Financial District if you want to farm that Force Multiplier backpack with Perfect Combined Arms, or of course you could purchase it at the White House. It's up to you if those rolls are good enough, but you do really want skill haste and skill damage on it. And last few I'll mention is shotguns over here at Pathway Park. Of course the Sweet Dreams and the Scorpio, both of those are the exotic shotguns in this game. The Sandman talent on the Sweet Dreams, one hit kill any red or purple barred enemy every 15 seconds is alright. but honestly I never used it. I think the Scorpio completely overshadows it, and I highly recommend that one, and it goes great on any build basically. Otherwise, the 4 best shotguns in the game is the Rock and Roll with the Perfectly Extra, which you can pick up in the DZ West vendor I believe this week, and then the Mob with 10% armor on kill, the Custom Inmate 70, and the Marine Super 90, and always roll close and personal on them. Last two, we got Petrov over here at Liberty Island for those contractor's gloves with 8% damage to armor, so of course that goes great on any LMG build, or of course, you know, if you're stacking damage to armor. And Badger Tough is great for farming 0F's chest piece with Perfect Unbreakable. That's a great chest piece. I have a TU10 build that I might put in the pinned comment below. That goes great with Vigilance or something on the backpack, and it just gives you all your armor back every 55 seconds that it breaks. Alright agents, well that was your daily farming guide for today. I hope you enjoyed the video, and if you did, consider pressing those subscribe, like, and share buttons below, and if not, a thumbs down. If you'd like to become a member for extra support and exclusive perks, you can click the join button below, and thank you and shout out to all 5 of my channel members. Always remember to check out the video description and pinned comment below as well for useful info for you guys, like gear and weapon spreadsheets, weekly vendor resets, and all that good stuff. And then of course links to support my channel, my merchandise store, my Discord server, and clan, which you're all welcome to join. Anyway guys, take care and stay tuned for more daily Division 2 content. This is Shadow Gaming signing off. I will see you in the next video. Take care agents.